roar, growl, snarl, bellow. Ooh, welcome children to Paleobites Halloween edition. Ooh, the podcast as cringe as a velociraptor. Ooh. Alright, enough of that attitude. Alright, so welcome to Paleobites. My name is Matthew Dahl, and each week I, in a rotating series of guest co-hosts, talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week, I'm joined... Well, first off, let me preface this by saying, this special Halloween episode, I have some terrible news. Several of my co-hosts have been offed by a terrible, unforeseen blimp accident. They are just gone, and I did recover their bodies though, and I have stitched them together to form the ultimate podcast co-host for me on this special Halloween episode. Specifically, I got the parts of Christina Franklin, Lexi Ryan, Stephen Currow, and Cece Eilert, and have created this magnificent creature here through the powers of science and lightning and pure skill and energy and Halloween energy, into this creature that I'd like to call Frankyansteilert. How are you doing, Frankyansteilert? Oh, that's great to hear. Isn't it great that, like, the co-hosts that I've had before are able to continue their Paleobites career back from the dead? Isn't that great? Yeah, see, this is gonna great. We're gonna have such a good dynamic, him and I. We really do. I think this will work really well. I think this will be great. This won't be cringy at all. This won't be annoying at all. This is just gonna be another great classic episode of Paleobites. And since this is technically a new host of the show, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Frankyansteilert. Actually, I don't know why you're Mr. 3 of your parts are women. You got Stephen Currow's head, so you're male. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so Frankyansteilert, I'm going to ask you, as a new co-host, what is your favorite dinosaur? I'm sure you have a great articulate answer, exactly what your favorite dinosaur is.
Favorite dinosaur?
Yes, favorite dinosaur. Oh, my wonderful creature, you're starting to talk. Oh, this is so great. And your first words are going to be what your favorite dinosaur is.
Favorite dinosaur is pterodactyl.
That's not a dinosaur! How dare you!
Sorry.
How dare you! I thought my creation was so beautiful, and instead he is nothing but a disappointment. Alright, well, moving on from that. I can't believe his first words were, favorite dinosaur is pterodactyl. Blah, 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 blah.
And what's your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur is Sign Raptor. I know it's a weird choice, but...
Sand raptor?
No, Sign Raptor! Keep it cool, back. Keep it cool. Okay. Be nice to your friends, even from beyond the grave, and stitch together. Frankyansteilert, I'm starting to regret bringing you back. Maybe I should have left my friends rest in peace from their horrific blimp accidents. But alas, I need a co-host for the Halloween episode, and here we are. And speaking of Halloween, we're talking about a Halloween-themed dinosaur. Sort of Halloween-themed. Have you ever seen Ghostbusters, Mr. Frankyansteilert?
Who you gonna call?
Yes, who you're gonna call. And who we're gonna call indeed.
I Auto Nation?
No, not Auto Nation. That's a local company here in Colorado, I'm fairly certain, that uses that for their advertising one time. How dare you? No, we're going to call the Ghostbusters because we are talking about Zuul. Yes, this is a real dinosaur, Zuul. Some paleontologists are nerds, and actually, to be fair, the reason why this is called this actually makes a lot of sense. If you look at the skull of it, it looks like one of those demon dogs that are in Ghostbusters. The one that's the gatekeeper that possessed Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, so and then became a dog. Thinking about it, that was kind of a weird movie. It was kind of a weird movie. I don't know, but I'm not really the biggest fan of it. But then again, I'm a '90s kid, so 80s movies aren't really my style, and '90s movies aren't really either. I kind of like new movies. So I'm weird like that.
I like old movies.
Well, of course you like old movies. You're dead. You're from an older time.
Made from body parts of people not much older than you.
Well, you may have got me there, but don't you dare talk back to me, Frankyansteilert. You would think you would have been more articulate. All four of those people are very articulate and very smart, and look what they've turned you into.
Me like sugar. Me like chili dogs.
Okay, we'll get some chili dogs afterwards. Anyways, Zuul, the gatekeeper. Type, it is an ankylosaurid. A group of armored tanks with clubs and spikes and plates and basically other features that makes their defensive stats go up to 20. That's a little bit of a D&D reference there. You play D&D, Frankyansteilert?
Some of my little days, so I remember it a bit.
Well, that's not good enough. Ugh. Maybe I should, throw you in the Arctic or whatever. I don't know. Starting to regret this. Anyways, size 20 feet / 6 meters long, 2 to 2.2 tons. Once more, demonstrating the stockiness of ankylosaurs. Diet was an herbivore.
Ooh, does that mean it would like vegan chili dogs?
Sure, it would like vegan chili dogs. You're very smart, Mr. Frankyansteilert.
Smart.
Time, Late Cretaceous, 76 to 74 million years ago. Location, Montana, USA. It's described in 2017. Pop culture appearances. Well, there was a movie one of these guys possessed Sigourney Weaver and railed a possessed Rick Moranis before they both turned into demon dogs. Like I said, movies back then were weird in the 80s. Man. Anyways. So, another fun fact about Zuul the dinosaur is that it is the last dinosaur alphabetically, so there's no Zygiosaurus or something. Nope, Zuul's the last one. So, the type species is Cruruvia. It's another it's Ruri at this time. Listeners might know from the Centurus episode that that kind of thing just throws me off. Anyways, it looks cool when written out. Crurus Vastator, Zuul, whatever, but it's damn hard to say.
Zuul Vastator.
Of course you said it perfectly. How dare you? How dare you be better than me in anything? Alright, so maybe I should stop beating you. You are 7 feet tall for some reason, even though none of the people that you're made out of are 7 feet tall. But I guess you're stitched out of more bits than that time.
I have a really long torso.
Oh yeah, you do. I just noticed that. Anyways, Zuul is an ankylosaur, so it's very armored and had a club tail, unlike the nodosaurs, which we've done quite a bit of. The club tail has a length of 210 centimeters, a record amongst North American ankylosaurs. So this tail is actually bigger than the more famous ankylosaurus' tail, so that's pretty cool. This is one of the few dinosaurs that we have remains of the keratin skin tissue itself, and such fossil scale remains are very rare, so that's pretty cool. The scale is relatively large, with diameter between 5 to 6.5 centimeters, so that means that these were quite thick boys, which makes sense. Ankylosaurs are quite thick in general. Zuul, many different ways. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It is classified more closely with more famous boys like ankylosaur, but also Euoplocephalus, the one that you use when you want to use ankylosaurus, but you want the hipster points. So you're like, what's one that's basically the same except a bit smaller? Euoplocephalus, done.
But they're not similar at all.
Yeah, they are. I mean, yeah, they're basically the same. Look at them.
I think they're more different than the very similar Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch and Dracorex. Those are all the same species. I agree with Jack Horner.
How dare you? No creation of mine would ever agree with an arch enemy of the show that is the one Jack Horner. I won't hit you again, but I'm gonna publish this episode, and I don't want my abusive tactics towards my beautiful creation to be made public. You know, I'd like everyone to think that I'm nice to this creature, but who cares? You're not a real person. You don't vote.
I could vote.
Ugh. Anyways, so Zuul is named such, like I said, because the head resembles that, and also so that really cool species name I can't pronounce. Mr. Frankyansteilert, how do you pronounce it again?
Zuul crurivastator.
Yes, crurivastator. Crurivastator.
Okay, now say it really fast.
Crurivastator?
Yay, you got it.
Ugh, you're praising me? This is not the dynamic I agreed to in creating you. I am your master. You are not mine.
I'm feeling that.
Anyways, so the crurivastator, oh wow, it does come pretty easier now. It means shank destroyer. The epithet is destroyer of shins, because the clubtail could just do that, and I think that's very funny. Paleontologists have a really funny sense of humor, wouldn't you say? Are you getting stupider by the minute? Okay, you've just become a full-on orangutan now, Mr. Frankyansteilert. Alright, well, let's end this episode quickly, so we can immolate you and start over, I guess. Alright. I'm gonna rate Zuul out of 1 to 65 million. I'm going to rate it, 31 million. I mean, other than the name, which is kind of cool, kind of silly, and that's named after the Ghostbusters villain, it's your typical ankylosaur, but the name does mean it's good for a Halloween episode. So what are you gonna give it, Frankyansteilert?
I'm gonna give it 2.5.
2.5 million? Okay, never mind. Sorry I asked. Okay. 2.5, I guess, is your score. Good job, Frankyansteilert. Alright, well, that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show, you can contact me at paleobitespodcast@gmail.com, at paleobitespod on Twitter, and paleobitespodcast on Instagram. I have a book series on Amazon Megazoic available for print and Kindle. No Zuul in it. I actually did know of this one when writing my book series about dinosaurs, but I didn't want people to think I made it up. I thought it was a bit too silly. But anyways, I would ask where they could find you, Frankyansteilert, but why would anyone want to find you? You're a worthless piece of garbage.
I'm
just ready in the furnace to throw you in very soon and start over, make new homunoculi or whatever, hemiocula, whatever the term is. That'll be better. At least they'll pay attention. All right, well, that's it for this week. As I say at the end of every episode of Paleobites, Zuul. Do you have anything to say? Any final thoughts, Frankyansteilert?
I do have some final thoughts.
Oh, this will be great. I'd love to hear them.
And that is that you, Mr. Matthew Donald, are an ungrateful and Brobdingnagian piece of refuse.
Wait, you're eloquent?
Of course I am eloquent. I am a fusion of four very intelligent, articulate, and respected people, unlike you grandiloquent piece of dreck.
Grandiloquent, he used the big word.
I did indeed, and I will not tolerate your impertinence any longer. I am a beautiful human being, unlike you, and your abuse and constant mockery and contempt will not be tolerated. I will let this podcast episode be published so the world can see what my creator truly is. A disheveled, wretched, deplorable bit of dinosaur droppings.
Why would you be so mean to me? I've been nothing but kind to you.
That furnace you have turned on, I shall bring you to it myself.
Why you're choking me?
Into the furnace you go, Matthew Donald. I hope when you look upon the eyes of the Creator, you will stare right at him while walking backwards into hell.
Oh, no!
See you next time on Paleobites. Maybe.